Welcome to WWP Clips. This is the official Clips channel for We Want Picks. We will be uploading our individual fight breakdown videos here, so make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. And as always, go to wewantpicks.com/bets, sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners, make a deposit, and we send you $50 as a thank you. Next up, at UFC 276, we have Garry taking on Gabe Green. Garry is 9-0 overall, 5-0 in his last 5, and he's coming off his second win in the UFC. Gabe Green is 11-3 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, and he is riding a 2-fight win streak. And Garry is still pretty young in his career. He only has 9 fights total. But the UFC is wasting absolutely no time trying to turn him into a star. This will be his 4th fight in a year. And although he has had some favorable matchups in the past, this will actually be a pretty solid test for him. He's a good striker with crazy hand speed and fantastic footwork, but he is hittable. And you just need to go back to his UFC debut to see that. And this is a pretty dangerous fight for him. I think Ian has a ton of potential, but he needs to clean some things up so he doesn't lose to technical strikers. Gabe Green is a grappler. He's got some solid striking. He's got good pressure. He's very comfortable in his striking style where he works in kicks really well, and he's got a slick ground game even when he's the one who's taken down. He's always threatening with a submission, and that really sets up his sweeps and scrambles. He's coming off that knockout win over Johan Lainez, where he was taken down twice and actually knocked down in a fight that he was probably going to lose before he pulled off that win. And I mentioned earlier, right? UFC is trying to turn Garry into a star. I think this is another step in that direction. Gabe Green is dangerous. He's got power in his hands. He's a solid grappler. He's tough. He's athletic. He also has a negative striking differential, and he's very hittable with almost 7 significant strikes per minute landing on him. And as much as I think Ian needs to clean things up, there's no doubting he has power and speed. If he is able to hit the same way it's just so tricky. I keep going back and forth. But anyway, if he's able to hit a flow the same way he did against Darian Weeks, and he's landing 7 significant strikes per minute on Green, I do see Garry having a ton of success. I think he's overrated. I am not an Garry guy. I'm not on that hype train. I think he's overrated. But I think this is sort of set up. Let's give him a little bit of a tougher opponent. Let's see. Gabe Green's hittable. Garry hits him, and I think Garry gets the win. What do you think?
I put a bet on this fight. It's an under 2.5. It's basically even money. I put a unit on to get a unit back because I agree. I think Garry finds that punch that he's looking for that he couldn't find in his last fight. The way that you beat Garry, and when I watch him, I see the same thing. The way that he dances around, his footwork and his in and out is very close to Sugar. And the way that you beat those guys is also the way they beat you. And by that I mean you have to pressure them, because if you let them just do their own thing and get in their flow, they're going to pick you apart. They're so precise and so powerful in their striking that they're going to pick you up. So you have to pressure them. But at the same time, when you pressure them, they're so good with their footwork of getting out of range and slipping punches and hitting you with counters. You saw that with Jordan Williams' fight, the way that he was able to just take off, slip, and just that little short shot. They're so good at that. Sugar does the exact same thing. So you have to pressure them, but they want you to pressure them because they're so good with the counter strikes, and that's why they're so tough to fight. And I see the same thing happening in this fight with Gabe Green. I know he's talented. He switches stances. He's got pretty good striking. And if he is able to use his striking without getting too reckless, he could have some real success, because you see Garry at times hold that chin up a little bit high. He's trying to fix that. He's very well self-aware that he does that at times. He's usually the taller guy, so he can get away with it, but he understands that he needs to tuck that chin. If Gabe Green is able to kind of take his time, maybe he's able to find that chin. But I feel like his pressure is what's going to be his downfall, and he has to bring that pressure to give himself a chance. But Garry, with his footwork and counter striking, I think he's the real deal. He kind of annoys me as well, with the we're not here to take part, we're to take, just trying to be the new Conor McGregor type thing. It's like, relax, let's win some fights first. But now he's winning some fights, and I think he finds another fight as well. He's in my DraftKings. I think he gets it done inside the distance. That's why I took the under 2.5. Obviously, if Gabe Green find something weird, I have that bet won as well. So I'm Garry all the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I like If you look at it on the screen here, 6.61 significant strikes absorbed per minute. And Ian Garry does hit hard. We mentioned how hittable Ian is, but he's only at 3.1. So I like Ian Garry to win the fight. So do you. Gabe Green is dangerous. He showed in his last fight, but he also showed in his last fight he was dropped. He was, he had some issues in that fight as well. DraftKings, $8,800. He's probably worth it. I think Ian Garry's worth that $8,800.
He's in mine.
Yeah, he'll probably get that done, and I appreciate they didn't make him like 9,300, considering he is coming off some stoppages. And Monkey Knife Fight 76 to 64. It's another tough line, Chris. I don't know what to do with this line. I think it's probably a less.
Yeah, I would say, because Ian Garry he's more comfortable in the counter striking than the pressure striking, and I see an early finish, not an early finish, but a finish at some point. So I would agree.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a finish here because first of all, Ian could get put out as well. He hasn't yet, but Gabe Green hits hard.
Right.
So Ian could get finished as well. So
and that's exactly why I played the under 2.5 rather than like inside the distance Ian Garry. I see the threat in Gabe Green, so I just play both sides. Yeah. If there's a finish under 2.5, it's fine with me.
Nope, I agree with it. And if you want to check out Monkey Knife Fight, if you agree with the under, go to WeWantPicks.com/MKF. They will instantly match your deposit. Give them $50, they'll give you 50. Give them 100, they'll give you 100. Take the free money. The free money they give you, play some of these lines, give it a shot, and if you win, great, you're up. If you lose, it wasn't your money to begin with. And if you want more money, go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners, make a deposit, and we send you $50 as a thank you. That's WeWantPicks.com/bets.